All right, hey guys. Working on the 15 Subaru. I had made a video before about doing the clutch and the basket and dropping the trans. So I'm gonna show you real quick. This is my 15. I'm in my workshop. So waiting to put the wheels on. But so guys, here's the thing. I'm doing this on the ground. I got my stands high enough where I could drop the transmission down onto the carpet, pull it back, a foot, push it off to the side, get to let me grab my light here. So here we are, guys. Actually, I got my big jack underneath it. There it is right there. Right there's the, let's see if we can get it. Yep, there's the new clutch basket. I took the flywheel off. I cleaned it up really nice. It wasn't too bad. And I just took some like PB Blaster, some Scotch Brite, and some WD-40, just sprayed it, let it soak, scratched it up a little bit, cleaned it, got any imperfections off, put it back on, got it put back on, got all the bolts tightened. I think those were like 14 millimeter. Got those all tightened up to 56 foot-pounds in a star pattern. And then got the clutch basket on. I actually made a little oopsie because I wasn't sure. I put the clutch basket on right and everything like that, so I had to take it off, put it back on, make sure it was all right. Had my spline shaft tool in there, so that's all good. So my plan is when you're going to do this by yourself, because I'm definitely by myself. So turn that back around. So I have. So I don't know if this is like a normal thing. So anyways, I put got grease on everything. I put a new shifter, I want to say ball with the knuckle up top. I replaced that, replaced the spring on the back, replaced the ball, and replaced the shifter seal right there. I replaced it all while I'm up in there. So I just wanted to make sure that I had no problems. It's all greased, ready to go in. So here's the big thing, guys. My motor, I don't know if this is a normal Subaru thing. So here is a 2x4 I have underneath the headers, because if it drops like an inch to inch and a half um, to mate from the transmission. So right now, all I have to do is just jack it up and then move it forward, which is fine. But if I didn't have that board in there, the studs would literally be facing, they'd be facing like this way. So by tilting the motor down, now they're facing this way. So all I got to do is like just angle the transmission, get it upright, and then just slide it right into the dowels, the two 3-inch studs on the bottom of the transmission, and then line them up with the dowels, and then push up the rear of the transmission and slide it forward. And then what that does is it levels the transmission and the motor. So those motor mounts must flex like a good inch and a half, because if I was to take that 2x4 out, the headers would literally be sitting on the subframe right there. And so I don't know if that's a normal thing. But yeah, so here's up top. So we're all ready. Transmission's ready to go, all new parts. Flywheel is like the only thing I didn't replace because it didn't look too bad. I just cleaned it up really good. Cleaned actually each individual tooth on it. Just ran like my wire wheel brush over it with my drill. Cleaned everything up. Looks really good. And then pretty much all I got to do, guys, is just jack it up, and hopefully I can push it in there. Especially I'm on the carpet. It's nice when you're laying on the floor, but when you go to roll something in, it's not the greatest. So I did end up keeping the starter. I'm going to clean it up a ton. I ended up taking some PB Blaster and putting it down into the gears. And I'm going to really clean it up tomorrow when I go to finish this. So I'm doing this by myself. I got quoted like 1890 to do this job from my actually a local mechanic buddy of mine at his shop. So wouldn't be able to get it back for 2 weeks. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn to do this. And so what happened was is I have 2-year-old twins too. So this is a really hard thing to do. So I really have to get when my wife lets me get time. So, I have tools set up to where they're on this side of the car to work on this over here. Those were actually to pull the clutch cable pins out of the bottom of the shifter. So, I got my CV axles over here. I got to re-grease those up, my breaker bar, and there they are right there. So I got to slide those up in there. Actually, there's what the wheels are going to look like when they're done, when they're on the ground. Um, so like if I'm like under the car and I'm reaching for a tool and all of a sudden I hear giggle giggle and my twins are running away with it, now I got to get out, get them, go get the tool or whatever. And but anyways, yeah, here I don't know. See if we can see, get anything. I mean, we're not far from the motor. We're only about maybe 5, 6 inches away. So the transmission's actually light enough for me where I can kind of get underneath it and almost like bench press it, push it up. So we should be okay doing that. I'm gonna really clean up everything under there. I greased up all my stuff, PB blasted all the steering linkages while I was under there. Um, but yeah, this has definitely been a learning experience. So yeah, it's gonna go. The starter actually still don't look too bad. Nothing's rounded over. Grease that up. So yeah, I think we're gonna be ready to put the transmission in tomorrow. Um, See how it works. I ended up taking all the cradles off and all the suspension, or not suspension, but the transmission cradle supports and everything, just because I can always put those up later. We're definitely gonna jack up the rear end. With the jack, once I get it all bolted up and made it up, I'm gonna start putting those on there. But other than that, guys, there's my transmission fluid. I'm gonna be filling it up. I'm gonna be changing the oil in the car, just doing a pretty much a full service on the whole thing. So this transmission job has probably taken me. I did 3 hours today replacing the getting the flywheel up in there, torque down, getting the clutch up in there, torque down, everything lined up, greasing everything, the replacing the everything on the transmission, and so we got all that done, and greased the CV axles up. I greased up the drive shaft, and then cleaned up the. I'm gonna clean up the starter a little bit more. But I had about 2.5, 3 hours into today, this afternoon. So let's see. I started this maybe last weekend. I think so. And I've been getting work on it, an hour and a half, 2 hours here. I really don't get a solid time to work on it in my shop with my twins. But it's going good. I bet you maybe we'll have like 6.5 to maybe 8 hours total into this. But I'm doing it by myself on the ground and while watching twins. So I don't think 8 hours is a whole, that's not a ton of time. If I didn't have all those kind of, I don't want to say hurdles, but if I had like a little jack or a lift or whatever, I probably would have had that taken out in one day and putting the transmission back in the next day. So, it's the small things that matter. In a job like this isn't my daily. This is just kind of like a toy for me. So it's not like I was really worried about getting it done super hurry. So, but no, guys, it's you just got to be super patient. I'm not a very super patient person. Once I start something, I really want to finish it, and if I don't, it bugs me. So I really had to be patient with this because now the hardest part comes into play. The hard part is getting the transmission off the dowels. So what I did is I sprayed PB Blaster. I started actually at the 12 o'clock position. I had like a non-metallic, kind of like a driver, I guess, and I had like an impact gun, and so it's almost like a poly plastic. and I got actually in between the top of the transmission, and I got it gapped just a little bit, and I just got that in there. I just kind of worked it down towards the dowels. Actually, I took the top mount intercooler off, I got right in down to the transmission right there. So once I got to, ended up using that, and then once I got that, I ended up using this pickle fork right here. That pickle fork worked awesome. And then once I got that split, I worked it down to the sides. I actually put electrical tape, like Teflon electrical tape on there so I wouldn't scratch the aluminum. But once I did that, the dowels, I sprayed like PB Blaster down in there, let it sit. And that transmission, guys, I mean, I had to wiggle it and wiggle it, wiggle it. But once I got the gap all the way around the transmission from the motor, it popped right off onto I had the jack with a 4x6 block. I just pulled it off, and then the motor tilted forward. So that's the whole issue that I was kind of concerned about, if a motor should tilt like that, like rock, like teeter totter. But maybe if I put the transmission on, I'm going to notice it level back off. I don't know. I've never seen motor mounts do that before. Normally they're just solid. So I don't know. Let me know if that's normal. But yeah, tomorrow I should have this transmission back up, and hopefully, you never know. Hopefully I'll be driving it Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see. Get to see if that clutch works, and fingers crossed I put everything back together the way I had it. I had some, good videos on YouTube to watch, and that's why I'm making this, because, I want to see people that do this job like I'm doing it on the ground, with jacks, just taking it step by step, greasing stuff, put it back together, torquing it, in the proper torque. And so it's like everybody, it's a I guess it's a, learning curve, I guess, when you want to save $1,800. So I think I had 350 in the clutch, and then another, I want to say like 75 in fluid, and another, I think for the clutch stuff I had, I want to say 125. So I think, right around $500 for this whole clutch job. So still 1,800, 500, I'll take it.